HTML or Hypertext Markup Language is the standard markup language for documents designed to be displayed in a web browser. It can be assisted by technologies such as CSS or cascading style sheets and scripting languages such as JavaScript. This language is used to structure a web page. For example, content could be structured within a set of paragraphs, a list of bulleted points, and many more. Basically, this language is used by web browsers to display a web page. In this tutorial, we are going to teach you how to create simple web pages using HTML and design it using basic inline CSS. Now, to start coding in HTML, you don't really need any specific program to do it. Even a normal text editor like Notepad would be fine. There are specific programs like Notepad++, the one we are using that could assist you in writing HTML. If you are just starting, we recommended downloading this program to assist your coding. The link is in the description below. Now, let's start coding in HTML. Before writing HTML code, we need to put this first. What this does is it tells the browser what document type it should expect, which is HTML in this case.
After putting the doc type on the start, the next thing that we need to do is to put HTML tag. An HTML tag is a special word or letter surrounded by angle brackets. All web pages start with the HTML element. It's also called the root element because it's at the root of the tree of elements that make up a web page. An HTML element is everything from the start to end of a tag. The HTML element is where we put in the elements that make up the web page. A closing tag is used to indicate when an element ends. Next, we need to put the head element. The head element is a container of metadata, and is placed between HTML tag and the body tag. Basically, it contains the data that doesn't show up in the web page, like the title and scripts. To show you an example, let's put a title element into it. Let's put the text title inside. Let's check out where it goes once we saved and open the HTML document.
Next, let's put the body element. The body element is where you put the element that show up in the web page, like the paragraph and list element. Let's put the P element. The P element represents a paragraph. Any text that we put inside the P element shows up as a paragraph in a browser. Let's put some text inside it. Now, to check out the codes that we have made, we need to save it first. When you are saving a HTML code, you need to change the file extension to HTML first. Now that we have saved the HTML code, let's open it. As you can see, the text that we have put inside the P element has shown up. When you look at the name of the tab, you can see that it shows title, which is the text that we have put in the title element. There are other elements that you can also put inside the body element. One of them is the H1 element. The H1 element represents a heading. The number inside its tag can be changed between 1 and 6. Let's add all of them into the codes to show what are the difference between them. Let's save it and check out the result.
As you can see, the text inside of the headers have different sizes. Their size is based on the number inside the H tag, 1 being the biggest and 6 being the smallest. You can also create lists in your web page. To create a list, you must put either AUL tag which stands for an unordered list and OL tag which stands for an ordered list. Let's put them both together to demonstrate what are their difference. The LI tag represents a list item. Each LI element is only for a single entry. So to add more to the list, we need to put multiple LI elements inside of the list element. The LI element is where you put in the text that will show up in the list. Let's put some random items inside it. Let's save it and check out the rules. As you can see, there's a list that is marked by bullets. It is the unordered list. And the another one marked with numbers, it is the ordered list.
Websites aren't entirely coded using HTML. Other languages are used as well, like CSS or cascading style sheet. CSS is used to design your website. There are a multitude of things you can do with it, like changing the color of text and even animating elements in the web page. There are 3 types of CSS: inline, internal, and external. For this video, we will only focus on the inline and internal type. Now, we will show you how to use the basic things you can do using CSS. An inline CSS uses the style attribute of an HTML element. An attribute provides additional information about HTML elements.
Every HTML element can have their own attribute.
One example of an attribute is the style attribute. The style attribute is used to add styles to your elements, like changing its color and font size. To use the style attribute, you need to put it in the tag of the element you want to design. Then, you need to put it in CSS code inside of the quotations beside the style attribute. Let's put a simple code inside of it that will make the text inside the element blue. As you can see, the color of the text inside of the paragraph element turned blue. The value of the color inside the style can be changed to any color. Let's try changing it to the red now instead.
We can also change the font size using the style attribute. The semicolon that we put here tells where the CSS value would end. The value of the font size code can be changed into any number. The bigger the number, the bigger the font will be. Using only inline CSS to design a big web page could be a big nightmare, because you need to copy and paste the style attribute to every element that you want to design.
If you want to design multiple elements at once using the same style, using internal CSS would save you a lot of trouble. To use internal CSS, you need to put a style element first in the head element. You need to put in the tag of the element you want to design first. Let's put in the li tag for example.
Now, let's put the brackets. The code that we will use to design the element will be put in here. The codes inside of this will be used by li element in every web page as its style. The code inside of the style attribute could also be put in here. Let's try putting the color code here. Now all of the text in the list turned into red. You can also modify the tag in this style to use it on other elements. There are a lot of CSS codes that you can use to modify the appearance of the elements in your web page. Try researching and trying them out on your web page elements. Thank you for watching.